Hello. Welcome back to another CNC project video with Legacy Woodworking Machinery. Today we're machining the last two pieces needed for the upper cabinet face frame, the left and right stiles. If everything goes well, we'll finally be able to glue the entire face frame together and move on to building the raised panels. At least that was the plan. Everything looked perfect coming off the CNC, but during my first dry fit, the joints were so tight they actually broke the part. At first I thought I just needed to loosen the joint a little. I was wrong. There was a much bigger problem hiding in my toolpaths. These stiles start as oversized alder blanks just over 58 inches long and 4 inches wide and 3/4 inches thick. Even after milling them flat, they developed a slight bow, so I placed the cup facing down and used Legacy's low pro clamps to pull both ends firmly against the T-slot table. That way the material stays flat while it's being machined, and the down spiral cutter continues pushing everything toward the table as well. For this project, I'm still using the same 3/8 inch solid carbide down spiral cutter and the same proven cutting parameters I've used throughout the series. Nothing about the setup had changed. The machining itself looked exactly the way I expected. First the rivets, then the stepped isolock joints, finally the outside profile. Everything looked perfect until I tried putting the parts together. The joints were unbelievably tight. As I pressed them together, sections of the stile actually snapped off. Clearly something wasn't right. But then I noticed something that made even less sense. Even though the joints were too tight, there was still a large gap between the end of the rail and the face of the stile. How could a joint be too tight and still not fit together? That's when I went back into Aspire to figure out what I'd missed. The first issue turned out to be my allowance. I intentionally climb milled the isolock pockets because I wanted to reduce the chance of tear out. The downside is that climb milling changes how the cutter deflects. I increased my allowance by another 0.000 of an inch. That solved the overly tight fit, but it still didn't explain the gap. The real problem was much more subtle. The edge of the isolock joint and the outside edge of the stile are actually creating the same finished surface. My pocket toolpath was climb milling the edge, while my profile toolpath was conventional cutting it. Those opposite cutting directions create different tool deflection. Although the vectors lined up perfectly in the software, the finished cut didn't line up in the wood. The machine was doing exactly what I told it to do. I had simply told it the wrong thing. To fix it, I made 3 changes. First, I increased the joint allowance. Second, I changed the profile cut so it matched the same cutting direction as the pocket. Finally, instead of letting the pocket toolpath finish the isolock shape, I let the profile toolpath perform the final cleanup so both operations created the same finished edge. The difference was immediate. The joints pressed together smoothly by hand, the shoulder gaps disappeared, and everything lined up exactly the way it should. Sometimes changing only a few thousandths of an inch inside a toolpath completely changes the quality of the finished part. With everything now fitting correctly, the glue up went together exactly the way I'd hoped. I applied glue to each stepped isolock, pulled the joints together, cleaned away the squeeze out, and checked the frame for square. After bringing it back into square with stacked clamps, I locked the frame in place and let the glue dry. And just like that, the upper cabinet face frame was finished. CNC accuracy isn't only just about how precise your machine moves, it's also about understanding tool deflection, cutting direction, machine orientation, such as your grain orientation, work holdings, and much more. The nice thing is once you understand how all these things work together, the same machine that produced a bad part like we experienced today is also the one that can produce a joint that fits beautifully. Now, do you guys have any experiences in your shop where you just change some strategies and the same machine or same tool that you're using gives you a completely different result? Please share those thoughts and ideas down below in the comment section. Now, this next part may not be for you, but we do have project plans available on Legacy's website at legacywoodworking.com/projects. And we'll leave the link in the video description below. Now, if you're enjoying this type of content and these videos, please give us a like. And if you don't want to miss out on the next videos of being notified when they're going to be coming out, consider subscribing. We're going to be, again, putting out a bunch of these kind of bite-sized videos pertaining to each project series. Now, in the next video, we're going to be moving on from the front face, which we just did for the upper cabinet, to the side panels. These are going to be raised panels with stiles, rails, and actually raised paneling. And so we'll be doing the railing first, and that will be our next video. So as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in that next video.